Hi, if your biggest dream in life is to be a tiny mouse in a tiny miniature world, then you are gonna love today's episode. Please. Thank you. All right, my little tiny freaks, welcome to a very sweet and petite episode of Laugh Cry DIY. I am Katie, and I recently returned from Paris. Now, when I was in Paris, I went antiquing, and I filmed a whole video of me visiting Paris's world-famous flea markets. And while shopping, I fell in love with a million things that were about $1 million out of my budget. And ever since I got back, I could not stop thinking about these things. And I thought, well, if I can't have the full-size version, what if I could make myself a few miniature versions of some things that have been in my head? And that is why today we're doing my first ever miniature makeovers. To be fair, we're not actually making anything over, we're making everything from scratch, but you guys get the idea. And let me tell you, I have been wanting to tackle miniature decor for so many years, and I'm so happy to say that today is the day. So everything we're gonna be doing today is going to be with a big old hunk of air dry clay. Polymer clay would be better, but guess what I had? Air dry. I am also using a little bowl of water because this air dry clay is extra dry. So let's go. To be honest, this first one is actually not something that I saw in Paris. It's a style of decor that I have seen around, and that is just really cute, adorable ceramic vases that look like bags. There's like plastic shopping bags and regular shopping bags and brown bags, and I just think they're kind of fun and novel and cute, and honestly, they're very, very simple to make. So I thought today, why don't we make a cute little bud vase that looks like a little shopping bag? I guess if I wanted to pretend that this was Paris inspired, I could make a Chanel shopping bag, but we're not gonna do that today. So here's what I have. I have this little dollar store like bottle vase that I'm gonna use as a little mini bud vase. And sorry, we gotta keep dipping this because she's dry. ASMR? Is that fun? Oh, I don't know. Look at my helper. If you guys don't know, this is my cat Baguette. She loves to help every project she can. Thoughts? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is actually, I'm just gonna start by making a giant ball that is gonna be turned into a giant rectangle. Because basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the bag, and then this little bud vase is going to sit inside the bag. To be honest, air dry clay is not waterproof, and so it wouldn't work as a vase. I also like the idea of being able to take this in and out, wash it, whatever. So we're gonna start to shape this loosely into like a large rectangle. And I think this is ultimately gonna end up being about like a little bit smaller than a pack of cigarettes. And something fun about me is that I craft with whatever I have on hand. I don't have an easy rolling pin, but I do have an empty glass bottle, which I can kind of use as that. So I'm actually just gonna kind of like loosely shape this, and I'm gonna work to make it kind of taller than it needs to, because this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna stick this guy inside. Ready? Also, two things to know: air dry clay dries and it shrinks as it dries. So you wanna make sure that if I'm doing this insert, that there's definitely like enough room for it after it dries. I also want it to come up above the lip of the bud vase so that that's truly hidden. So we're gonna keep playing around with this. And are there more efficient ways I could do this? Probably. But that, honey, is not the brand. It disappears. Now what's cool is that you can really kind of like drape and shape the clay in a really kind of natural way, the way that like an actual shopping bag would be sort of like wrinkling and crinkling, which is really, really fun. Now, I don't know if someone's done the research on it yet, but like there has to be a reason that we are so beguiled by little miniature things. Do you guys know? Another thing is like with air dry clay, depending on how dry it is before you start working with it, oftentimes in my experience, it will have cracks in it, but once it dries, you can either fill those in with spackle or you can sand them down. And we're smoothing, and we're smoothing. And now to make sure I would like really have those like smooth, crisp edges, I'm literally just like using this ruler to press against and really mold, because the key to this is very crisp, pointy corners. Don't ever let anyone tell you making a box is easy in clay. And if I'm honest, I could have used just like a whole thick cube, but I'm actually running low on it and I need to save it for the rest. Now, obviously the top is super rough and awkward. So I am going to ensure that our little thing fits in here. And I'm gonna like mark the top, and then we're going to actually slice it all evenly so that it all works together. We're looking pretty cute here. The top is not perfectly flush, and like I said, I'm actually gonna sand that down once it's dry as we like fill in. But the number one thing we need to do now to make this feel like a cute little bag is we need to give it that little side crease that like folds in. I'm gonna make a little score on the side. It's like a little triangle on the bottom and then a score on the side. And then with that, we can kind of press it in to make a natural little fold. You see, it actually has a cute little kind of somewhat natural pattern. Fun. Okay, so last thing, one of the inspo photos I saw had actual little handles in there, and I thought that that was so cute. So I am gonna make the holes for those, and I'm just gonna poke these straight through. Let's see, can you see it on camera? Coming through. Oh, there she is. I can drill these holes bigger later, but I just wanted to make sure that they get in for when we do in fact have it dry. Okay, we're gonna set this aside. Oh hey, different day, same tank top for continuity. We have a totally dry, very cute little bag. I did add spackle, I did sand. I didn't film it because sometimes things happen late at night and we don't have time. And although this is the color of clay, I am gonna paint it a brighter white just because I want to. All right, we're back. And we are dry and crisp and white. And last thing, don't forget, we put in these little holes to have little handles. So I have some cute, simple twine, and we are going to run that through to create our adorable, adorable little handles. All right, and lastly, these are sticking out a little bit to the side. So I am actually going to use some books or something to kind of press this down and keep it flat. But I think this is done. All right, this next one is being designed with intention and thought. So when I was in Paris, something that I found that I love so much was this antique Italian plant stool that was actually a series of like 3 ceramic pillows stacked on top of each other. It was €1,000. It was so amazing, and I looked online and I only found one in the whole world, other one for sale. I thought it was so amazing, but I wasn't gonna pay that much. I'm also kind of running out of room in my maximalist household, hence we're gonna start making more miniature decor on the channel. But I love the idea of like a plant or something on a little like dramatic pillow. I thought it was so funny, and I thought, oh, there was one thing I did get in Paris, which you guys can also watch my haul of all the things I did get in Paris. One of the things I got was this tiny, cute little miniature lighter. This lighter is really cute. It's called the Mini Empress lighter from Japan. Super tiny, world's tiniest lighter. And it needs a good display in my little lighter display area. And I was like, oh my gosh, what if I create a cute, tiny, adorable little tasseled pillow display for this to sit on? I loved the ceramic stands specifically because they were so ridiculous. They had like, not just pillows, but they had cords and they had tassels on them, and they were just kind of so outrageous. So I thought, let's see if we can recreate something like that. So I'm gonna start by creating a little fun rectangle, square pillow. Basically, I want this to look kind of like a mini ravioli, basically. But the thing is that you can't just like flatten it like that because it just looks like a square. You actually kind of need to like pinch the little sides together. You want to create this kind of like edge so that I can put the little tiny fake cording on it. And is it ridiculous? Yes. And do I love that? Yes. And now's the part where we... Thoughts? She really wants attention. Motherhood is hard, people. Okay, so let's do this for like 5 million years now. Okay, this is looking pretty perfect. Let me show you. She's still on me. Blah. Okay, so this is like super petite, and as you can see, I really worked to kind of get the like little indentations of a pillow, and you can see how it's like kind of like pinched in the middle. And I'm gonna go in with some detail after to kind of like create some sort of little like stress lines where it looks like it's like really bunched. But first we're gonna try to attempt doing this really, really tiny cording. And this seems crazy because now I have to roll out the smallest little string on earth. For context, this needs to be like half of the diameter of a toothpick. So that's how thin and tiny this needs to be. Are we gonna be able to do it? Kitty, kitty, doesn't care. Baby spaghetti, okay. You guys, you can see how little baby it is. And these are our tiny, tiny little cords. And I'm gonna try to press these in right around the edge. Let's see how well they can kind of stick themselves on. Guys, this setup is chaos, okay. And you know if somebody said chaos, here she is, Miss Chaos herself. Swear to God. Impossible. Ma'am. Guys, I'm so sorry that this like epic detail work is completely Okay, the good news is, as chaos as this all is, this might be my best work on this channel because this is so cute and petite. I did actually realize that like if this falls off or something in the morning, I can use light air dry spackle and pipe it on. And in hindsight, maybe I should have done that, but we're in too deep and we've gone too far. You guys, look how cute it is. Look how cute. Alrighty, now we're gonna make some the world's tiniest tassels, like 3 millimeters. Is that how big? And I'm gonna do this simply by cutting some cute little like triangles out. Do you see how tiny these are? Then I can shape them to kind of like splay out as though they're like real tassels sitting on a thing. I'm gonna make them more of kind of like a little cone shape. You guys can see like how little baby tiny they are. They can stand on their own, see? Oh, so cute, so tiny. Now these are gonna have like tiny, tiny balls that are gonna go on the top as though they were like the top head of the tassel. So I am gonna make like the world's tiniest little indents here so that those balls can kind of sit into the groove. This is so that if it doesn't dry together, I can kind of like easily glue it in, and it has kind of a little like place to sit into, if that makes sense. And no, my friends, this channel is not necessarily set up for miniature crafting filming, but I'm gonna do my best. And then the cutest part, put a little tassel head there. I'm not even gonna try to show this on camera. I am, however, going to draw in little tick marks. And actually, I'm not even drawing so much as I'm just like indent pressing them in. This is so microscopic. You guys probably can't even see. You guys kind of see? It kind of creates feet. Don't fall apart, don't fall apart. It's all in one. Oh, you guys can't see, who cares? And our pillow is cute and it's dry and it's adorable. And we are going to do actually a two-tone color scheme on this little guy. Because my lighter is like this deep kind of like almost navy purple, I thought it would be cute to do a little purple and gold color scheme here. So we're gonna go darker on the bottom, lighter on the top, but we have to give this little tassel trim its own cute touch, and I wanted to do it in gold. And to do that, what I have here is gilding wax. It's just a simple little wax gold product that you can rub on anything. Okay, in many ways, it's almost impossible to show this part on camera, but, little balls down. It's okay, we'll super glue it back. It is a little ironic doing this in gold because is there really gold trim in this sense? Probably not, but this is my miniature fantasy world. And the good thing is that this dries like almost instantly. To try to get real deep into some of these nooks and crannies, I'm gonna use a little Q-tip. Also, I added these little kind of stress marks along the edge so that it felt like someone was sitting on it and stressing it, if that makes sense. I'm gonna have to glue that lost ball on later, but we will hit the back with a purple paint. And our little guy is dry, so we're gonna hit the top with some lavender. It's so cute. It's so cute. I do need to glue on the top of that little tassel, but I'm gonna let her dry, and I think that she is done. Please be gentle. Okay, lastly, when I was in Paris, I was looking for brass candlesticks, and they were so expensive, but I was kind of beguiled by these like Art Nouveau kind of swirly floral motifs that I saw throughout Paris and in the antique market. And something I have that I absolutely love are these tiny, cute, adorable mini, these are little beeswax taper candles. They're meant for kind of like meditation or little spells or journaling. So you can light one and it melts down in 20 minutes. And it's super cute, and it came with its own little candle holder, but I really kind of wanted to create a miniature kind of elaborate taper candle holder, a la kind of the Victorian era with the little, you know, handles on it, but kind of nouveau, kind of floral, kind of fun. So I decided that that is what we're gonna do next. To do this, I'm gonna start with a little mini ball, and I'm kind of gonna create this like miniature marshmallow shape, kind of making it into sort of a barrel, and then like flattening it down, because I kind of wanna create this like pedestal shape basically, but I wanna make sure that it's gonna hold my little taper. So I am also going to start by placing a little miniature hole in there. You can see it's kind of starting to form this little like base. And I really loved on some of the taper candle holders I saw, they had these kind of floral feet, and I'm gonna kind of try to reenact that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of cut in these sort of equal part segments all around with my needle, as you can see. And each of those is actually gonna become kind of a little mini floral foot. So I'm gonna start to like press those out. As you can see, if you press it kind of down in a round shape, it kind of starts to create this little petal that's like naturally round and naturally kind of coming out. And not only that, but I want those sections to be a little bit more pronounced. So I'm actually gonna put in these little tick marks to really define the feet sections. Okay, I see. Cute. Okay, now we want to add a little bit more detail to be more drama. So I'm gonna actually add even more. You guys see? And just adding like 2 tick marks per petal gives it so much texture and makes it feel so ornate. You see? And yes, we're constantly going back and just shaping those petals to make sure they look like nice and smooth and cute. Next up, I want to create this little like lip for the stand. I don't want too much of this to be like sunken into it. I just want enough that it like holds it, because again, it's like little, so it has a short burn. So to do that, I'm just gonna take a little ball and like pancake it. And then I'm just gonna set this little guy all the way through it so that there's a full hole. And I'm gonna keep honestly thinning this out because I want it to be a little bit, just like a little kind of like plate almost. Does that make sense? All right, you guys can see that. And then this little guy is gonna go just right on top. And then he can go in the middle there. All right, now lastly, I wanted to add a mini handle to this. And something I've seen that is so beautiful are like, not just little circles, but like little swoopy, swirly, almost like imagine a new leaf curling under itself. So we're just gonna do like this little guy here. I'm gonna smush him a little bit. You can see he kind of looks like a little leaf, you see? Then you can actually curl him like around and under. And I'm gonna kind of like force him to stand up. And you can see once he dries, see, he'll have this little handle. All right, I'm gonna work on like his little curling pattern, but we're gonna come back when he's dry. Okay, here we have our cute little candle holder and handle, and I want to show you guys. So this is the candle holder, this is the little handle, and we're actually going to glue the handle underneath the little lip there, but we're going to do that after we turn this whole little guy gold. And although it'd be so fun to do gold wax on this, there's actually so many little nooks and crannies that I think we need to hit this with my fave spray paint instead. Oh, she's so pretty, she's so gold. All right, last step, we're gonna take some Gorilla Glue and we're going to glue on this adorable little handle, like I said, from the bottom. And we're gonna try to control ourselves because it is so darling. And I think we're done with that. So while she sets up, I think it is officially time to show you guys our completed miniatures. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys are inspired to create a miniature piece of something that you have had your eye, but not your budget on. If you guys like this episode, you can subscribe to my newsletter where I send out monthly DIY tips and inspiration. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and until next time, stay small.